Hi, Sara Levin, the Artful Inker here, and today I have card 7 in my 10 Days of Christmas cards for you. And we're going to be using Beauty of the Season. I love this cardinal image here. I see them in my yard all winter long, and I just think he's lovely. So we're going to ink him in the Memento Tuxedo Black. And I have a piece of Whisper white cardstock that is cut to 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Let's just get this down here a moment. Okay. Isn't that pretty, that little distressed look? And I'm going to use my blendabilities. I have cherry cobbler markers. I have my medium and light pumpkin pie. And then I have the bronze shade from the skin tones, and of course my color lifter. Now if you've watched my previous videos when I've colored with blendabilities, I like to have all of the colors that I'm going to be using and blending together open at one time, and my fist begins to resemble a porcupine. So let's start with the medium shade, and I always think that birds kind of have a shoulder at the top of the wing there, so I want to give that look of that, and I'm going to do so. I laid down some medium ink, and then that was some of the darkest color, and then I'm just going to bring that out. I want that shade to be there but not be a hard, crisp line. And then in this drawing there appear to be several layers of feathers, and I'm going to give the idea of the layering by adding some shadow, again with that darkest color, and then coming back in with my medium shade of cherry cobbler and bringing that on out. And again, here's the darkest one. And I'm just going to, again, put a little bit of that dark shade in. And again, here we come with the medium and bring it out. And one more bit under this last row before I bring that all the way out to the tail. And I always go back and color over that dark bits. I don't want it to be a hard line, and coloring over helps to blend it in. So, and in my world, whether it's correct in nature or not, the belly of the bird is always a little lighter and brighter. So I'm using my lightest cherry cobbler, and I'm coming right up here to his face, and then he kind of looks like he's got a beard going on right here, and I'm going to whisk in a little bit of the medium shade and work that in as I come up here and do the top of his head. And again, right here at the top, I want to stroke in just a little bit of that darkest shade. I think that helps to give it a little bit of dimension. Now I'm going to use my lightest color and stroke that in on the berries. I've got a lovely holly and a dogwood in my yard that attract both the cardinals all winter long and the squirrels. The antics of the squirrels are really funny to watch as they hang off trying to eat the berries. Okay, so let me cap these quickly and move on to adding some color to his beak, which is where we're going to use the pumpkin pie. Let me just see which end I've got here. I want to use the bullet ends on these because I'm just stroking in a little bit of color. So using my lightest color first, coming in here and along here, and then I'm going to come back and stroke in just a little bit of darker shade on the top of his beak, just one little line of it. And then finally I'm going to come in with my bronze and color the branch that he's sitting on. And again, in my world, this does not have to be perfectly, completely colored. And now I want to move over to the bullet end for these narrower bits. The drawing on this stamp is a bit like a sketch, which is part of the reason that I don't think that this has to be perfectly colored. We're giving the idea of some of this rather than being hard and fast about the color. Now I'm going to come back in and shade with some of this same color here. By letting it dry once and then coming back, you get a little bit of shading. So let me grab my layer here. We're going to use Cherry Cobbler, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Use my bone folder to fold. And before I put this down, I want to wrap a little bit of ribbon. I'm going to take some of this Cherry Cobbler linen ribbon that's in the holiday catalog, and I just want to kind of wrap the edge of this. I want to cut enough here so that once I've glued it down, got enough to work with. Let's run this around here. And I think I'd like to add just a little bit more color. So I'm going to add a piece of this, what are we calling this? Two-tone trim that's in Old Olive and kind of a natural, very vanilla color. So we'll lay this in here and tie my knot. See if I can get this while I'm on camera. Can you see this? I hope. Okay, don't want to hide all of my coloring. I just want to give this, and I don't want to bend my card. So let's adjust this just a smidge more. There we go. Okay, and then I'll trim it up once it's glued down. So I have some of my favorite multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to add that to the back. And just thin bead as always. Don't want it to squish out as it dries tacky. And then put this down on the center of my card here. Okay. Now let's do something with the ends of my ribbon. I think I would like to have it in points rather than just angled. So I'm going to fold it in half and give it a cut. And it's got a little point there. And do the same thing here. I'm going to fold it in half and give it a cut at an angle. Lovely. Still trying to keep that square knot over there. And then I think I want this frayed rather than as one large piece. So let me fray this a little bit, and then I'm sure I'm going to trim it. little bit more. Needs to be pulled apart all the way. I just want this fine little bit of almost like a boutonniere. Okay. Now, let me give this a little bit of adhesive right down here where it meets the ribbon. And again, give this little bit of adhesive right up here in the ribbon. And then I'm going to trim this last little bit here. Okay. And there we have it. Again, still playing with my knot, so sorry. Oh my. Okay, so there we have it. My beauty of the season, colored with the blendabilities, and a simple card with the cherry cobbler linen thread, and some of the two-tone twine in the old olive and natural. Thanks for stopping by. This was card 7 in my 10 Days of Christmas from The Artful Inker. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and then click in the upper left to go to my blog. Have a great day. Bye.